Greetings and good morning. Welcome to another episode of Jail Tales. Today we're going to Florida to visit Mr. Felix Torres, age 39, was an Uber driver and decided to rape his passenger after he dropped her off from a night of drinking. Now, with this guy, he had already been charged in Massachusetts for armed robbery and breaking and entering. See, now this is the thing with those background checks. If you're charged with the crime and it never turns into a prosecution, you can still drive for Uber. A lot of these people have been charged with crimes and the justice system just doesn't follow all the way through, or they take plea deals for other stuff and it never gets fully pushed through the justice system. But this guy, once again, shouldn't even been driving for Uber or any place driving women around. Another common denominator, she's by herself. Ladies, if you're by yourself, be super careful. Even if you're walking from somewhere, and I know that you can't get knives and guns into certain places, but like I've always said, at least have that screwdriver in your hand ready to go with that good grip. There are more Felix Torreses out there, and he's only 39, but they gave him a nice long sentence, so he will hopefully never do this again. Um, like I said, with the several arrests, I don't even know how he's up there. I would still sue Uber anyway. Hopefully she's able to sue them because even though he wasn't prosecuted on those other crimes, he'd already been, arrested a few times. These rideshare companies have got to start being sued for some sort of negligence of letting these people just pick these women up and just take advantage of them, because this is going to keep happening over and over. So if you have any family members that use Uber or these other rideshare platforms, make sure you share this. Because Mr. Felix, he's just got sentences. These court cases take so long. This happened back in 2022 to 2023. And these cases take such a long time to actually finally get sentenced and charged properly to where, like I said, he shouldn't even been on the road. But they let him drive anyway because they're, Uber and Lyft, they run through so many people that this is what they do. It's like a machine constantly of people on and off of through the gig economy. But he was trying to get out of it. He tried to get up out of it. Let's take a look at Mr. Torres. That's him right over here. Right. But the other states in Massachusetts, they should have did their job earlier so that this would have never happened. Stop letting these guys, they just keep coming out, running in and out the justice system.
Is sentenced to life in prison. The father of the victim says that he is proud of his daughter for taking the stand. Felix Torres was convicted of chasing down one of his passengers after dropping her off, then sexually assaulting her. Although the victim was not in the courtroom today, she did write a letter that was read in court, and it says in part, Felix Torres, I find peace knowing that you have received.
And I'm still calling top dog law. Win, lose, or draw, you can sue anybody for anything. It's got to be some sort of negligence on this case. And a lot of times, trust me, even if you cannot win in court, they will still settle, get something out of these cases.
Receive the worst punishment of all, and that is living with yourself for the rest of your life. I hope each day you sit in prison and think about how much pain you've caused another human being and their family. Wing News reporter Annalise Araola joins us now live from the courthouse in Fort Myers. Annalise, what did the judge have to say to Torres before sentencing him to life?
Russ, Amanda, Honorable Bruce Kyle said that Torres' actions were extremely predatory, said that this was not an accident or a slip in judgment. Then he sentenced him to the maximum sentence of life in prison. So many lives were changed by one man's predatory actions.
Your Honor, December 4th, 2022.
As you can see, he got a haircut, tried to make himself look a little bit more presentable for the case. It doesn't work. Now with all of the DNA technology, and the most important thing is somebody had a camera on it. They look like one of those Ring cameras. Get your Ring camera and be ready, because people like this, he's not the last one we'll have on these episodes, and he definitely wasn't the first one. This is going to continue to happen. Always, there's going to be crime, but you have to be ready. If you can't get in the club that you're going to with A metal weapon, they've got plastic brass knuckles too that'll go right through those metal detectors, ladies. Those plastic brass knuckles, I see them all the time in my profession. Those will go through the metal detectors and you'll be just fine. But have something in your hand, especially while you're alone. Make sure you share this with other women.
Two changed my life forever. Since then, I wake up with anxiety and fear daily.
Before Felix Torres, a former Uber driver convicted of sexual battery with great force, was sentenced, the state attorney read the victim's impact statement aloud to the courtroom today.
My whole world has been turned upside down. After experiencing the trauma that was inflicted upon me, I sat on the stand and was forced to relive my trauma, while being questioned as if I were the one on trial and not the victim. All while trying to deal with the stress of worrying what would happen to me or another woman if he were to get out.
At the end of her letter to the court, the victim spoke directly to her attacker.
Felix Torres, I find peace in knowing that you've received the worst punishment of all, and that is living with yourself for the rest of your life. I hope each day you sit in prison and think about how much pain you've caused another human being and their family.
Torres was found guilty of raping that young woman who he had just dropped off from a...
There you go. That way you can get a good look at the predator. You know, he'll be back. If they don't convict these guys, they'll be right back out there. And he will definitely do it again. He's already had a lengthy arrest record. Smoke, there's fire. And these guys are always out there. Half of these people, they steal identities. We've got all these illegal immigrants in the country right now, jumping on and off of DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, and they're trying to make a living too. They've let a lot of criminals in this country, so make sure that you're ready. Especially, like I said, the common denominator. A lot of these cases, the women are alone. Especially if you're a lighter woman, where somebody could pick you up and just take you and just lift you away from this. You definitely got to be ready at all times.
From an Uber trip. This video shows him running while putting on a mask before he attacked his passenger. Today, the judge sentenced him for his heinous attack.
You chased that woman down and you shoved her down from behind, and then you did what you did. It was not an accident. It was not a slip in judgment. It was predatory. Sir, I'm going to order that you serve a life sentence. Good luck to you.
Justice was served today for the victim and the victim's family, and I was able to speak with her parents after sentencing, and her father told me that he is proud as hell of his daughter and said, "We got the job done thanks to these guys," while motioning at several LCSO deputies. Reporting live from the Lee County Courthouse, Annalise Iraola, Wink News.
Brutal rape is...
So thank goodness that they had the actual video evidence of him running, putting a mask on, because in a court case, the jury has to see this stuff. That way they know exactly who it is, how that the crime was committed. And, you can't justify this type of stuff. He slithered out of a few cases, looks like. But now there's a lot of technology. A lot of these cameras on every corner is picking up a lot of details of stuff. So be ready at all times. If you can't get a screwdriver in your hand, at least have some plastic brass knuckles or something ready to go, especially when you're by yourself. Like, share, and subscribe. Send it to these other ladies that are like, if you're traveling alone by yourself, this ain't the last one, because there are plenty of predators out here. They just waiting on that small window of opportunity. A lot of times it just takes a second for you to be just not paying attention. And these guys, they blend into the background. It's your Uber driver or just somebody that's just those guys that are just standing outside of those stores. What do you think they standing outside of those stores for? They watching. They're watching what's coming in and out. When you see a lot of these guys just standing someplace, just looking outside of these stores, they're just watching to see for opportunity, whether it's you dropping $1 or just a woman traveling by herself that they can take advantage of. But anyway, stay safe, stay armed till next time. Holla.